Hello, 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 crossroads, witches, and other interesting magical beings. Woo, it's summertime, flowers. I love flower magic, and I think it is a lot of times overlooked, and it is a very powerful connection to the dirt we stand on. And being able to go to the nursery and get a plant and grow it and have it thrive, or if you are so bold as to plant something from seed and have it grow and flower. Either way, there is something about, when we talk about connecting to the spirit of the root, nurturing it is part of that connection. And how important, excuse me here, how important it is. It needs to develop, it needs to nurture. It's not about just going and buying an herb off a shelf, coming home and sprinkling it and going, gosh, I wonder why this isn't working. You know, it is truly about connecting to the spirit of the root. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through flowers. They are just Mother Nature's little things of happiness. They are the most amazing for uplifting, well-being, love. Y'all know little giggity giggities in there. Type workings. And again, like I was saying, you can grow your own, or you can, go to the nursery, go to the garden shop and get you a couple of little flowers and come home and nurture them. Take care of them. Develop a relationship with them. And then when you go to do a working with them, you're going to feel that connection. And I have my book out here because I wanted to show a couple of things that I've done here. This is a money spell, by the way, that's a money working that I did in my book. So that, I got things falling out of my book. So that way it's always active. And I used yellow rose petals in this working. And I feel like this working, it's doing me well. Ooh, keep giving me some, keep giving me some. All right, another, let me find it here. Oh, here is my pretty one. All right, and this was about desire, passion, and vision, and bringing it together is what this working was about. And I started with an oracle card, passion, and then I put some flowers and some of the leaves of the flowers around it. As I was working it, I was saying that, chant out loud. The chant is, and I know what the chant is because I wrote it down, is I see, I hear, I know, I am one within the flow. And this was, like I said, the desire, passion, vision was my 3 words that I was using in this manifestation. And I chose to use some purple cone flower. This is a viola and this is a pansy. Very similar to what I'm going to do today. And put that into the working. And I simply, for those who want to know, I take my flower, pull the petal off, put it on the paper. I have some Scotch tape, and I tape it down. That's what I do. All right, I do not overcomplicate this process. I also use flowers that, like, the cone flowers, echinacea, black-eyed Susan types. This is roses, and I did a whole blog on the wonderment of the rose because it is so amazing. And this is a small bush rose that I like to use. Here is some viola, and here is my pansy. And here's some shots outside my garden of me getting them. Here is the viola, and here is the lobella. These are two of my favorite flowers to use when I'm doing workings that are uplifting, workings that are happy, workings of love, all those just uplift things. These are the two, and you can see I grow them under my elephant ears here. But every spring I get me some little violas, or you can use pansies, and I get the labella. They like filter sunlight, and you have to be mindful to keep them watered out of direct sunlight and out of the heat of the day. So let's take this inside and see what we got. Here is another favorite of mine, the black-eyed Susan. I really love to use her leaves as well. We'll pick one and take it in. And then over here you see wandering pansy. These don't work too well. I've tried them and I didn't get good results. And that's where it's for you to get out, grow it, see how it works in your magic. All right, let's pick one of these. Here is another one of my favorite flowers for pressing, drying, for using in workings. Again, happiness, love, maybe a little giggity giggity. But these are actually bush roses. Aren't they too pretty? And they dry so beautifully. I just love them. I planted two of them here. I also have a beautiful jasmine vine. We can walk down. And my jasmine is not in bloom right now, but right beside it, you can see a beautiful variant of the echinacea, whereas most echinaceas are purple. This is a yellow. And this is another one that the petals do really well for drying. It's such a bright and pretty little flower. I do enjoy it. Isn't that, ooh, yes, I know. I'm so excited about my flowers. I've been here a year on site, and so I am slowly planting so that I have a perennial. That means it comes back every year garden, and I can simply walk out. Different times of the year are going to give me different fauna, foliage, different flowers, the things, different presentations. Sometimes the leaves are different colors, sometimes there's berries, and I incorporate those things in my magic. That is my store, my magical apothecary. You know, where do I go to? I go to my yard, and I slowly each year plant a couple of somethings. This isn't trying to do it all at once, witches. And if you are living in a situation, you're in a rental, you're in an apartment, you're like, I can't be planting stuff out there. You saw in that clip, I have things in which are in flower pots. Just saying, you know. And if you know you're going to be in an apartment or a house for, you know, at least 2-3 seasons, I would consider maybe, you know, planting a couple of little flowers up around my area if I have it. A lot of the annuals, like the labella and the viola, the pansies, are really very inexpensive. The big kick with growing pansies and violas, as I was saying in the video, is that they do not like direct sunlight. They do not like the heat of the day. You need to either have them up and under things, like you saw mine are under my elephant ears, and they're also in a dappled sunlight situation. And so I know I have to plant them over there, whereas you saw with my black-eyed Susan, it's out in the middle of my yard because it's a lover of the sun. And to start, again, developing a relationship with your plants, you know where it belongs, what it likes, you know, and isn't it, it's just beautiful. Sorry, I felt like the flower was just giving me a little sparkly something for a minute there. So I now have my flowers together. And I want to do, this is a working of well-being. I've been talking a lot, about self-care, well-being. How am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to start by finding an empty page in the book. Yes, I did. Here's some more flowers. I put them all sorts of places. I do my workings in my book so that a lot of my workings, here we go. Let me get out of that section. Are actively working. It's not that I'm just here's where it's supposed to be. I found it. I had put a bookmark in there, so I knew my page. I like to keep a lot of my prosperity, my well-being, especially if I'm doing vision work where prophecy type things where I want to be aware of what's going on around me type things. I like to put them in a book. I have a couple of different books. This book I've been working for, I think, about 2-3 years now, and it's just about full. And the page becomes the working. I will take, I said, my flowers. I'll take my petals off, some Scotch tape. I will write a sigil, a symbol down. I may write down a phraseology. I may have found a pretty little picture like you saw where I took an oracle card, and that became part of my magical working. The rules are yours to create. And this is where we get to put the craft into witchcraft and to enjoy it, to embrace it, to have fun with it, dare I say, This is you connecting to the spirits around you, you connecting to the land, the dirt, connecting to the plants, the universe, and becoming part of that flow. And when that happens, then yeah, you can tilt the universe a little bit from left to right. But it takes time and effort. It's not just going and buying some stuff that you read in a book, putting this procedure together, and then standing there wondering why the results aren't working, all right? Because you didn't work it. You didn't connect to everything. You do not have a passion for your intention. All right. When we go into that state of, I hope it works, I doubt it'll work, maybe it will work, I don't know if it'll work, it ain't working, witches. All right. It's going into it with, it's going to, I don't even think like that now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, I don't, failure is never even a consideration in my brain. I'm more thinking about, what's going to happen? How is this going to manifest? How is the universe going to show this to me? And I know the universe sometimes does it in very quirky ways, and to make sure that I've kept my intention straight. Sometimes the universe will give an overabundance of what you've asked for, and you're like, oh, but it's prosperity. You can never have enough. Sometimes too much is not a good thing. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but mindful of your words is the wisdom on this one. And making sure that you're connected to your spell work, to your working, and the ingredients. And that's why I think flowers are the easiest way to start working with the diva kingdom, the plant kingdom. And they just want to be worked with, except foxgloves. Foxgloves don't like anybody, just saying. I had a bed of foxgloves once, and want to talk about depressing, funky energy. Foxgloves just sort of want you to cry. They're also part of the digitalitas, so they can give you a heart attack. No wonder they want you to cry. That's my personal opinion. That's all I'm saying, personal opinion. If you have a beautiful relationship with your foxgloves, please ignore all my words. I'm just saying what I've learned personally with my own. And that's where I do have, beds of flowers that I spend time with it, and their personality, who they like living next to them. Like I said, some are bright and sunny, others are in the shade, and prefer a cool environment. And knowing that when I am doing the working, the energy, where these grow, their environment, helps me to manifest that energy, helps me to keep my intention more on track. I think right now where I'm seeing a lot of people, they're off buying all these herbs. This poor girl had a whole wall of herbs that she'd gotten off Amazon. Half of them were dusty and dead, and the other half she couldn't pronounce. And she's wondering why her magic, why her magical path, her witchy self is feeling funky. And I'm just looking at these things on the wall like, I know where the funk is coming from. You ain't got a connection to none of that up there. You done brought all these strangers home in your house, and you don't know them and they don't know you. No wonder the energy's funky. Nobody knows nobody. All right? And so it's so important that the things that you put on your shelf, the things that you're using, you're connected to. They make sense to you. You know their stories, You can, where it lives, how it works, how it's harvested. If you can't tell a story about it, you probably shouldn't be using it. I often say that with deity as well. It does not matter what God, goddess, divinity, form, aspect, whatever. If you can't tell a story about it, you don't have a relationship with it, all right? When I talk about that, yes, I, give honor to Hecate. I would not call myself a devotee of her because I know that there are those out there that are true devotees, and I don't want to in any way. I am more of on a friendship level with Hecate, and I have a small space set up for her. And if you sit and talk with me, you'll find out that I have a very extensive knowledge on Hecate as the goddess of the crossroads, those three beautiful heads that see everything coming. The one that teaches us a lot of times that it's not about an either or. There's always that middle hidden road, the three-way crossroads, that third way. And that's how I relate to Hecate. I know many things. She is part of the Titans. She comes out of the Greco-Roman time period. And she is part of the story of Persephone and Demeter later on when it has been heavily Romanized. All right? I know. I've done my research, my time, so that when I light a candle on that altar, when I say a prayer to her, I am doing it out of honor, reverence, and respect. And that means I've spent the time getting my shit together before I stood in front of that altar. All right, just Googling, look, Artemis. I like Artemis. Goddess of the hunt. I shall sit up and we shall hunt together. Yeah, that's probably not going to be a healthy relationship. All right? That's like somebody showing up at your house and being like, I know your name. And then invite themselves in, sit themselves on the couch, and start talking to you. And you're just like, just because you know my name don't mean you know me. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know my likes, my dislikes. You don't know my stories. You don't know where I've been, how I got there. All right, you don't know what I represent, what energies I bring, but you know my name. All right, little bit of a rant. I'm so sorry. Let's get back onto flowers and how easy it is to use flowers in our magic, to press flowers if you want to. Again, this is after my rant about Googling. This is the time where you can do plant identity, and some flowers do not lend themselves well to being pressed. A lot of times, especially if they're out of the cactus family, if they're daylily flowers, because of the level of moisture in it. If I put a daylily flower in my book, it will end up becoming a moldy mess, as opposed to if I take one of the petals off of my, here, let me pull a petal. Ah, for love. Thank you. You can see that this has got less moisture in it. It's going to dry fairly quickly without the chance of mold. You want to take it, put it in your book, and like I said, I put a little piece of tape on it, all right? And then I slowly make my design on what I'm doing, whatever I'm creating, and I shut my book then. You know, and it typically, I don't know, I would say a couple of weeks and you'll see where they'll start to, where they're drying. And if need be, put a little tape on them. If you don't like it, rip it out and put a new flower petal in there. All right, it's your magic, witch. It's your magic. And so first I want to say thank y'all who've watched till the end. All right, I so appreciate. Please hit that subscribe. Please hit that like. Also remember, I am a published author, and you can see in the link below the books I've wrote. I wrote Hoodoo in the Psalm, Conjuring Dirt, and then a whole list of other books below that. Please check those out if you would like to support me. I so appreciate with that. And if you want to know more about what I'm talking with, working with flower magic and things like that, our 13 Moon community is doing that, and there is more information available over there. If you want to get more in depth to it, please come and join us. And with that said, witches, get out there, fly those brooms, have a bright, blessed day, and as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and Bobo. Ooh, for you witches that stayed till the end. I sat here and this is what it looks like finished. Where I used the flowers. I hope I'm doing this so y'all can sort of see it. And what I wrote down was, I love, accept, and give grace to myself and others. And I was saying this out loud while I was putting my flowers down. I was speaking words to the divine, to goddess, the goddess, and putting each flower down with intention. And you can see I have my flowers. I have my own little system going on. That's my personal something something. I hope y'all have your personal something something. But I wanted you to see how it ended up looking. And tell me what favorite workings you like to do with flowers. All right, get out there. Fly this group. Bye.